Welcome back to the TK Breezy channel. I'm TK Breezy, and I came back from Let's Make Moves Miami, the first of its kind, and let me tell you what it was like. It was actually pretty fun. Kind of a smaller tournament for sure, but it was like a kind of a homier vibe, if you will. But yeah, let me just go through my time at Let's Make Moves Miami. So first up, I had like a super early flight or something like that. I could not go to sleep for whatever reason, or something got canceled. I don't remember. All I know is that like I got to Let's Make Moves Miami and like immediately passed out, right? So I went to sleep, woke up, did my block. I only had 3 matches to commentate the first day, but it was Squad Strike, which, by the way, side note, I don't really like Squad Strike. I'm not like, I think I would much rather commentate doubles than Squad Strike almost all the time, right? And I feel like I'm trying to like hammer that away because like, I don't know. It's just like, to me, Squad Strike a lot of the times is like your main is plus 2 characters you barely play that much. So you're trying to make this comeback on your main. And I'm just not really with that right now. So I'd rather just watch doubles of two people playing their main against other 2 people playing their main. Now, there is some good Squad Strike battles. I'm not saying like it's absolutely terrible, abysmal. It's just not a format I really want to commentate 90% of the time. So yeah, give me dubs instead of Squad Strikes in the future. I'm definitely, you know, I'm fine. I know people don't like dubs, but I still like dubs. So anyway, we did 3 matches of Squad Strike, and big shouts to Riddles for winning that. And then after that, we went to a party at Vicky's place. Vicky, big shouts to Vicky, Queen of Commentary. Love her very much so. And yeah, it was a cool party. Like, got to meet her roommates, got to meet a lot of her friends that like are not smashers, and then there was a lot of smashers there, so I played some friendlies with people. And genuinely, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually do like this game a lot. I just don't like playing online, and that's why you never see me playing it. So I feel like people don't think I want to play, but like at every tournament, I have brought my controller, sat down, and played friendlies. You know, like at every tournament. But yeah, so yeah, definitely love this game. It's fucking wonderful. Anyway, so then Saturday was singles. I think I had a block with Vicky, and that might have been it, actually. I think I had one block on, I think I had a block with Vicky on Saturday. And it was a cool block. I actually got a chance to play a couple friendlies with people. There was a dude in the back room who actually had HDR, which is like the new version, or the ultimate PM, I guess. And it was really fun. I played it a little bit. It was pretty fun. You know, there's changes all the characters. They try to make all of the clones not clones, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, definitely played that game, and that was very fun to play. So I don't know if I would like download it myself, because, you know, Nintendo be watching, but if it's around, I'm definitely down to mess around with it, you know what I mean? Now, pretty simple tournament on the way of like, this is just a tournament that I'm going to, and like, you know, it's the homies and whatever. Sunday is the real day that I think we have to talk about, because I didn't know this, but there was apparently 8 Steves in the top 64, which I don't, you know, the character's popular, right? And I think that's just like what's happening. But this is the issue with Steve now, is like, I don't really think Steve needs to be banned, but I do think for the health and the integrity of this game and whatever, it's getting to that point where like people are starting to compare it to the way Bayo is, where like people were quitting the game because of that character. And I think that's a valid concern. You know what I mean? If the character is super broken to the point where like, yeah, we can't deal with it, nah, maybe not. But is the character kind of polarizing for the game? For sure, right? There was a time where there was like 4 different matches of Steve versus someone, you know, and that was crazy. But I think the thing about Steve, I know people have been complaining about like banning characters all the time, right? But I think the thing about Steve is like how you have to play by Steve's rules, basically, right? And every other matchup in this game, you can definitely just outwill somebody or outplay somebody all the time, right? But the thing is with Steve is that like, you can outplay for like so long and still lose. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like that's just like how it looks right now, from the standpoint of watching a lot of people like play their minds out, and then, you know, watch a Steve or watch them mess up one time trying to like beat a minecart and then die for it. So, you know, I don't know, man. I think Steve also, I feel like straight up though, like Steve's just game plan is just, it's too strong. Like a high level Steve will always be or like a top level Steve will always like kind of control the pace of the match, which maybe that's just the character, right? Now, again, as I said, I don't really care. I don't really care about if the character's banned or not. I'm just thinking about the grand picture of like how many people are going to quit before we think, all right, this may be an issue, right? Because I think when people are trying to complain about Aegis, like that's just a sword character. Like, yeah, I mean, that's just a sword character with some pretty strong sword situations. And like, yeah, I think Aegis does have some pretty busted stuff too. I think like getting F tilted at the ledge by Pyra and knowing you can't do anything about it is a pretty ass situation in general. But like normally it's just getting F tilted at the ledge and then waiting for the next option and punishing that, right? Yeah, I don't know. I see the arguments on both sides. I'm like, Steve definitely seems very polarizing for the game, but at the same time, these Steves have put in a lot of time to learn this character. So it would suck to put this level of time and this level of labbing in to then immediately watch your character get banned, right? You know? But, you know, on the other hand, we have to kind of like try to learn from our mistakes, right? You know, we didn't ban Meta Knight. Meta Knight pretty much destroyed Brawl. We didn't ban Bayo. Bayo pretty much destroyed 4. And Steve is kind of like in that same trajectory, right? I think Steve is definitely in that same trajectory. Not nearly as bad as Bayo in Smash 4, though. I think Bayo in Smash 4 was an absolute travesty. Just not a great time. You know? So I saw that there was a hold on. Discord now seems to be it's fair to quit when it's no longer fun of you. Y'all should quit complaining and play the game. That's true. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. All right, since no one's pulling it, this is what I was talking about. Thank you. Let me pull this up real quick. Boom. So, Bert says no one's pulling the trigger, so I thought who better than notable Kazuya main living in the Kazuya Steve region. Going to use the data to see if interest truly increases. If they do, this might be a permanent solution. Welcome to No Neutral November. We'll be experimenting character bans for the entire month of Shockwave. Here's the schedule. If you made the banned character, don't fret. You'll have free entry if you feel like coming. So you have DLC Pack 2 banned November 2nd, which is today. But honestly, I might watch this tournament. Steve is banned on the 9th. Kazuya is banned on the 16th. Kazuya and Steve are banned on the 23rd. And then all DLC is banned on the 30th. So I'm actually interested in see how this one plays out, right? And if it is bringing people back or whatever. But I also want to see just what happens when, like, I'm interested to see what happens in these 2 weeks, right? When Steve is banned, will the Kazuya just absolutely slap? And when Kazuya is banned, will the Steve just absolutely slap? And then in this week, are we going to see somebody else from Fighter Pass 2 go crazy? And in this week, who's going to win when we're back to base roster, right? You know, we have a lot of changes within the community. And I think now's the time to really kind of try to implement that. This guy could have just, I don't know if you're here in the stream, but you could have just came to the stream and asked this. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah. It seems pretty interesting what we're thinking about all together. This man said, Wax Steve gameplay side, would you rank Let's Make Moves Miami to other majors? The beach looked fun. I wish. Let's Make Moves Miami was, I feel like that was like not really like a major, if you will. It was like a major light because there definitely wasn't that many people there, but it was definitely like a Florida, you know, it was a Florida thing. And like there was people that came from out of state. I mean, I'm from out of state, but I think that was more of the homier vibe of a tournament. So if you like want a homie vibe, then, you know, go to Let's Make Moves. That's for both of them. Let's Make Big Moves and Let's Make Moves, you know, are both like pretty homie tournaments. So Joy said, do you think we're more likely to ban just Steve and Kaz, or all the Fighter Pass 2? I feel like it's probably Steve first, and then if Kazuya start running rampant, then Steve and Kazuya. But I don't know. Fighters Pass 2 was a good idea on paper, but then I feel like genuinely, if I was a Fighters Pass 1 main, I would be so pissed right now. Watching all the bullshit that a Fighters Pass 2 character got as a Fighters Pass 1 main. Bro. Go. So how many more Steve Grands do you think it's going to take for something to be done? I have no idea, but you know what was sad about that Steve Grand? We didn't even get a chance to talk about the Steve Grands. The Steve Grands genuinely was probably the saddest thing I've ever seen. Right?
Oh, and anticipating that jump as well. Akala just all over this man. Is it done? Wow, the double bounce. Wink. I don't know. Are we looking at a 6-0?
What did I tell you, bro?
Come on now. I don't want to say all that. I ain't gonna say all that.
I didn't want to say it, but listen.
Still own it.
I could look. I'm not even. The guy has a mask on. I can still tell he's smiling. I can see it in his eyes.
Yeah,
I can see it in his eyes, bro.
Yep.
Like, he's like, this is the best case scenario for me to win this tournament.
Honestly, it's oh wow. So going back to Old Faithful, I think this is Onin's original main, if I'm not mistaken.
Because like one Steve out-Steved another Steve so hard that he started playing characters I have never seen him play. That shit was so sad, bro.
If you're a betting man, obviously Vegas odds are telling you Cola's got this one wrapped up. We shall see.
So much work left to do on Onin's part. No way that kills. Okay, yeah, he's still alive. And Arsene's in play. Oh.
No, he's going to leave, though. And that's going to be it, man.
Damn.
Akola, such a dominant performance that the man just left. He was like, I got to go.
That shit was so sad, man. And just like, I mean, Onin looked overly defeated, bro. Like at the point where I was just like, bro, you can throw in the towel. You know what I mean? The Robin was kind of hyped though. I will give it up. But the after we started seeing Shulk and stuff, I was like, all right, bro, yeah. I'm just to me, bro. To me, I think it was like if there was ever a time to throw in the towel and just be like, you know what, man, I don't even want to play the second set. That was the time that I would have been 100% understanding of being like, yeah, bro, I would have quit too, man. But yeah, I mean, big shouts to Akola, really proving his Steve prowess, man. I mean, the kid is nice, you know. The kid is nice, and I can't even like, you know, you can't take nothing away from him. I don't know how he plays before this because I've never heard of that man before, but I'm sure he wasn't like terrible. You know what I mean? Now I do kind of want to go back and look at almost all the Steve's results before they picked up Steve. And also, like I tweeted out earlier that day that I feel like I've been seeing a lot of Steve counterplay like being developed. It's just like, dude, I feel like Steve was like the one character that like you have to play 100% the entire match because the 1 minute you slack, that's when you're getting minecarded, or that's when you're getting anviled and dying at like, you know, 80 on accident or something like that. Not being able to chase Steve at the top if he has iron is like the worst feeling in the world. Akola was #1 in Japan online ladder with Luigi. Damn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like Steve's original game plan, or like even his like flowchart game plan, is hard to deal with. Like minecart in, jump out the minecart, anvil down, jump off the anvil, forward or back here. Even that in itself is kind of hard to deal with. So then you have to like, you know, drop in the layers of building blocks wherever you want them to go. You know, endless mining, planking, all that other good stuff. He definitely has a pretty polarizing and kind of toxic game plan, you know, all things to consider. Now, is it beatable? Of course. Like, I don't think it's unstoppable, you know, but it is a mental struggle the entire time you're playing against Steve. So, you know, we have to kind of like monitor this a little closer to see if this really going to become an issue, and start monitoring like, you know, viewership and entry level, you know, entries of event and stuff like that, and just a bunch of stuff like that. Because like right now, I mean, I can't fully say Steve needs to be banned, but I definitely could see it being banned if you were trying to keep the game spectator healthy, friendly, and just competition healthy, friendly. Because I think we are going to start losing a decent amount of top players if nothing is done, and we're not getting another patch. So Steve is just going to run rampant like this for however long he decides to run rampant, which, you know, we can still keep developing counterplay and whatnot. But I think as an aside, as a fun thing, I think it's like ruining things on less than just a national level. I'm hearing that people aren't even going to their locals as much anymore because like some Steve players now starting to dominate the local, and it's just like, dude, you sit down, you see him in your bracket, you don't even want to play that hard, you're just trying to have some fun. There's no fun playing against Steve, bro. There's no fun to be played against Steve. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. I don't have the power to ban at all. I don't have the power to ban anybody or anything. I'm just here. I'm gonna commentate to the best of my abilities as the matches show. But I will and I have no issue watching Steve because, like, again, I'm not the one playing. But whenever I play and some Steve asks for friendlies, come on, bro, just leave me alone. Come on, just leave me alone, bro. There's nothing friendly about this. There's nothing friendly about what you're about to do to me in this game. So like, you know, so I don't know, but either way, yeah, I very much like Let's Make Moves Miami's. I like the top 8 regardless of like, you know, seeing a lot of Steves and Robs. The crew battles was definitely the hypest part of the event. Tweak was looking absolutely fantastic. They brought that back immensely because that was originally looking like a 8 stock difference or some shit like that, 6 or 8, and then they brought that all the way back to a 1-on-1 between 2 Robs. Like that was crazy. So that was, yeah, no, Tweak was going insane on that, man. And so, you know what's crazy too is like seeing, you know, the 2 busted characters go against each other. When we see like Steve versus Kazuya and like Steve is still like running Kazuya like that, it definitely does feel a little jarring and very telling that we're complaining about both those characters, but it does still feel like Steve is like the more of an issue. So, but yeah, the outside of the tournament was really where it was at. I mean, we went to the beach for a little after party at the end. We hung out with people. It was a nice vibe, man. It was definitely a great time all together. So I feel like if you're trying to go to a tournament that was a little more lax, more vibes, they had a large friendly room. So if you just wanted to go play friendlies the entire time, you can go do that. It was just a good time. It was just a good time. And also, Verse is right. I think Meta Knight did not really survive. Like we didn't really survive Meta Knight in Brawl. In fact, I think Brawl was on a pretty heavy decline for a minute, and PM kind of revived that, to be completely honest. Seeing 6 Meta Knights in top 8 and then a ZSS and a Snake was never that fun. I honestly, I think if PM didn't happen, I probably would have stopped commentating. I think I would have been on a totally different, you know, trajectory of life, I think. But yeah, bottom line, it was good. Go to Max's tournaments. Max is actually running some pretty good tournaments, all things considered. You know, we got, well, I mean, the EMG tournaments all together. Gommel's fun. Let's Make Big Moves is fun. And Let's Make Moves Miami was fun. But that's going to be it for this video. We will probably have something else to talk about next week, because there's always something to talk about with the Smash community. I know Tech just recently dropped his video, and I watched that, and I mean, look, I'm just gonna throw this thing as an aside. I think if anybody else was presenting this information, I feel like it'd be a lot easily more digestible and believable. But because people don't like Tech, they don't want to side with him, right? But after watching that last video, and like honestly, I've been thinking about this for a while, right? I think there isn't enough evidence. There's way more evidence to prove that at the very least there was some. It was a little fishy looking. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? And I think people are starting to wise up. But unfortunately, it is Tech that is presenting this information, and people are not a fan of him. Yeah, man. I mean, at some point in time, you just gotta face the facts, bro. It's not a good look. And like, if there's a way that you could try to justify it, I mean, I think if that 30-page document came out and it really had some like real like, yeah, bro, this is what happened, like blah blah blah, then like sick, right? But because it's like hidden from the public, it's kind of hard to like, it's almost like you have to take word of mouth, and I just don't think that, like, we can't really like take word of mouth for this situation anymore. We need to see some shit. We need to see something. Like, if you really want to be like exonerated by everybody, like, we need to see something, bro. So it seems like Naruto got manipulated though. That's the thing though, bro. Like, he was 15, bro. Ain't no 15-year-old ever mixing me in life. You might mix me in the game. But you'll never mix me like that in life. What the fuck? So, anyway, that's the actual end of the video. I am gonna, like, if y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you on the next video. Make sure you drop a like and a follow and all that, and a comment, and come over to the TK Breezy stream. I stream every Tuesday and Wednesday that I'm home, and if I am home on days that are not those days, I probably stream too. But I'm usually not home because I'm always at a tournament. So I got BCX this weekend. So if you're a Brawlhalla player or watcher or enjoyer, I will be there. And then the weekend after that, I'll be at Port Priority. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.